All right, folks, good afternoon. This is the Marketplace Reset and JumpStart Economy on JumpStart TV, broadcasting live on the WSDX AM 970 radio, broadcasting live on the Colorado Network, broadcasting live on multiple destinations on social media, and rebroadcasting and also broadcasting live on La Mega Mundial and rebroadcasting on Tempo Television Network throughout the Caribbean, throughout the Northeast United States, and Suriname and Guyana. Again, I'm Anthony Weeks, your host and executive producer. I'll be joined by my colleague, Terry. Terry, how you doing, Terry?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Good. Our guest is in queue, and I just want to be able, just before I bring her up, you made some good points where, small businesses cannot afford to take this for granted. Okay. And individuals are taking this for granted. Small businesses are, applying old school methodology. A lot of them are intimidated by technology and don't want to take the necessary step. And that's just another conversation for another day. We'll have that discussion. But we're going to let's bring in our guests from Rotary. I am grateful for the opportunity to have spoken to present this morning at Rotary. And I was the guest speaker at Rotary this morning by the invitation of Liz Goggins. She's a board member of Rotary Mid-Island St. Croix, and she's the chair of the Public Image Committee. Liz, welcome to the program. My colleague Terry Coxum will be part of the discussion. And I want to thank you for accepting our invitation because, Rotary does important work. And, I think it was important, very fitting to invite you on the program to hear everything about what Rotary is doing and the important work you're doing. And so welcome to the Marketplace and JumpStart. How are you?
I am fine. It's great to see you again. Here we are.
Crack of dawn.
Oh, it is every Wednesday morning. But I tell you what, it's a lot easier doing it from my house than having to get from Frederickstead to Christiansted for 7 a.m.
Absolutely. I had I really felt the time spent was good quality, productive time, really presenting to your members, to your colleagues, and really sharing that information with them. It's the fact that they were so interactive and the questions said that they really felt the information that was presented was quite beneficial to them. And so I want to thank you for that.
Yeah. And, it's a concern of all of us, our economy, the small business here, and for us, for Rotary, every month we have a different theme. And this month is economic and community development, which is why I reached out to you. And we will be reaching out more because, it is important. It is one of our areas of focus as Rotary. We have 6 areas of focus, and one of them is economic and community development. So we look forward to working with you on that. And maybe, because I remember you were a Rotarian many years ago, and maybe we can pull you back on to help us.
Terry and I was talking about that, the crack of dawn, meetings that you got to get up for,
Right.
And so, in my former life as a banker, I was the guest speaker on a couple of occasions, and I'm more than delighted to continue to do my part in how we can move our community forward, So the video you sent me, unfortunately, I wanted to upload it into the studio, but I couldn't find it on YouTube to be able to do that. It was only available on Twitter, and I thought it was really, really important information compacted in 56 seconds. Sorry.
Right.
So what I want to do is, Terry, I don't know how involved, if you are Rotarian, and if what is the Rotarian like in New York, if you've participated in that. But obviously, I'm looking forward to our conversation with Terry, with Liz. Liz, why don't you Yeah, well, Liz, why don't you give some background, give an overview, obviously, of your chapter and the work that you guys are doing here in St. Croix.
Well, here in St. Croix, there are 4 Rotary clubs. Each club has its own unique personality. We do work on a number of the same issues. Like I said, there are areas of focus in Rotary. So those are the issues we covered, and those, are very broad. We, each club, like I said, we do our own projects. Our club, my club is, we have our scholarships. We partner with Aquin for scholarships. We work with Diageo also. So, we have a lot of partners in what we're doing. We've done health fairs, our district, which is District 7020, which encompasses 10 countries and 16 islands in the Northern Caribbean. We last year undertook a project to educate and help eliminate or prevent type 2 diabetes, along with educating about type 1 diabetes. So we did the health fair last year. It's a little hard this year to be able to do public projects like that. So, and we're rearranging everything. We're looking at doing fundraising online now so we can maintain our projects. We 3 weeks a month, we provide breakfast at Lighthouse Mission. We just donated to the Bethel AME Zion Church food market or food pantry. We have ongoing projects all year long. We're working with Department of Education. One of the clubs in our district, the E Club of the Caribbean, do a writing project for kids. I believe it's 7 to 11 years old. So, and then they print a book. They publish a book with 10 of these stories. So we're working on that, getting submissions. Our club reached out to 5 schools plus the homeschool. They have sort of an organization, but we've reached out to homeschool, and they were thrilled because they're always forgotten, so the homeschool kids will be involved in that project, and we're looking forward to somebody from St. Croix being published in that book this year. And the name of it is the Butterfly Project.
Nice.
So that's a fun project. And with everything going on with COVID and everybody being at home, we're looking at and we're working with the Department of Ed to do a reading project where our members and authors of local books read stories to kids, and we're going back and forth between doing that live and recording people. So there's a lot of things still going on, even though we're locked down.
Right. I think it's really important. One thing that when I was the Region 2 advocate for Small Business Administration, I had the opportunity to actually visit Rotary. And and I said to Anthony in our last segment, the one thing that I really enjoyed was that you guys are involved with everything. So, and I still see that you still are. So you're involved in academics, you're involved in health, you're involved in economic development, you're involved with the community because you are the community and the members are from the community. And I think that's the big difference with Rotary. Making sure that there is a complete involvement across the board. And I commend you for still doing that work despite the fact that we're in a pandemic. Yes. And I really think it's important that the young people are now involved, especially with a book project. The social and emotional learning for young people is usually them being together. And I know personally for my grandson, because there is the Zoom learning aspect of it, he really wants to just be with his friends. So having a book published and, being a published author at that young age has got to be huge for them. Yeah. That's a big deal. And so I thank you guys for absolutely bringing that together. And, and it also really sparks that reading, because reading is so important for them. And I always encourage young people to read. I said, you can go anywhere you want if you read a book. So now you're taking that a step, the club is taking it a step further by saying you can go anywhere you want or direct the story by putting it in a book. So that's,
Yeah. What we're looking at doing when we get the submissions from the schools, the top, maybe the top 2 from each school, or depending on how many entries we get, doing an online event with the writers, the young writers, and allowing them to read their stories online, on a probably a Facebook Live or a Zoom. So, that
creating public speakers as well.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Awesome. So now this month you said is about economic development. What are the other 5 components? I know you said there's 6.
There's 6 areas of focus: community and economic development, peace and conflict resolution.
Oh, nice.
Maternal and child health care. And I should know them all off the top of my head. Maternal and child health care, water and sanitation.
Okay.
I will look up the other 2. I will get them.
Those are major. So that speaks to, and the reason that I wanted you to kind of really highlight what those are is for those individuals in the audience that are listening, because they're listening all over the world, right, that are not involved in Rotary. When we speak to Rotary being a part of the community, when you're talking about maternal health, right, when you're talking about peace and conflict resolution, when you're talking about economic development, those are all key components in our economy and our whole ecosystem. And so that's why it's important for us to kind of really highlight what Rotary is doing for those of us that are not familiar with the aspects of it, to know what you're doing and how you're doing it, because what you're creating is a community of doers, right? And I think that that's really, really important. I mean, aside from the crack of dawn, waking up for the meetings.
Well, not all clubs move at that time. And I need to correct myself, because just recently, within the last probably 3 months, Rotary adopted a 7th area of focus, which will come into effect very soon, and that is the environment.
Really? Okay, that's really important. Oh, that's awesome. That's really, really important. That's really important.
And so, everything we do should come under one of those areas of focus, which are very broad. It's hard not to do a project in the area of focus. And then each month has a theme. Next month is our foundation, and that's the Rotary Foundation. That's where the World Polio Day or World Polio Eradication is centered in the foundation.
Tell me a little bit about that, because I know Anthony talked about that in the last segment. He talked about polio, and then he kind of compared it to what's going on now with the pandemic. So tell me a little bit about the polio, the efforts around polio eradication.
Okay. Polio eradication is Rotary's primary external focus. That's top for us. It began back in the 1960s with some clubs working in the Philippines distributing the vaccine. And over the years, it has developed. In 1985, Jonas Salk challenged Rotary to eradicate polio by our 100th anniversary, which was 2005. And we were very close, but there were some issues,
circumstances,
extenuating circumstances that we were down to 4 countries, and then what had happened with some seriously bad misinformation, it went back up to 10 countries.
Wow. Okay.
In August 25th, the World Health Organization declared or certified that the African continent is now polio free. So right now there's only a huge day. I mean, major accomplishment.
Yeah.
And so now it's only in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And while some people will say, okay, yeah, that's good, it's over there, it doesn't take much for it to spread again.
That's right. Because we can see that with COVID, right? We can see that with COVID. It was in one place, and now it's all over the world, right? So that's why it's really important for us to really look at, pandemics and things like polio, and understand that it's not just their issue, it's our issue. And I think that it's really important to understand that Rotary took on that as, a major focus and made sure that they pushed through. And now it's only in 2 places. And that can also be, what we have to do, because this is like a blueprint, right? This is what we have to do to attack the pandemic right now. That's why I wanted you to kind of, give us the nuggets on how that happened.
Over the years, and when Rotary first adopted polio eradication as a project, many people did not believe that we would do it. Really? And we've all seen where an organization will come somewhere and say, okay, we're going to do this, and a year later they're gone.
That's true.
The World Health Organization said to Rotary, we don't believe you're going to do this. To prove to us you're going to continue this fight, you have to raise $100 million in a year. And Rotary is like, okay. So that year at the international conference, when the funds were tallied, the U.S. went last. Okay? And there's a wonderful documentary that tells this story, and they show the money being raised, and everybody's like, oh, we didn't make it. Before the U.S. went and gave their total, Rotary, there was $30 million. Rotarians in the U.S. raised $100 million. So to prove to World Health Organization we were going to do this and committed, Rotary raised $130 million in 1 year.
Stop the presses. Did you say $100 million?
Wow.
Yes. Right. Well, Rotary is committed every year to raise $50 million, and we get a 2-to-1 match from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And the first year they did this, it was we were to raise $150 million. They were going to give us $300 million, but they said, normally when you get a matching grant, you have to raise the money and then you get the match.
That's right.
With the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they said, you know what? This work is so important. Here is the money. Do the match. So
they gave the money up front.
Yes.
Well, that's almost unheard of. Yeah, that's almost, yeah. So that's important work. Yeah, that's important work.
You can't say anything bad about Bill and Melinda Gates. We love them,
Nothing bad in here. Nothing bad in here. So that's huge.
Even when polio is eradicated, and it's Rotary, and there are a number of partners. It's called the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, the GPEI. GPEI has committed to $450 million a year to maintain polio vaccines, so there's not a outbreak after eradication.
The eradication is complete. Awesome. Yeah. So this is really important work, and it speaks, volumes to what we can do together, right? It really speaks volumes to what we can do together. And so one of the things that we want to talk about, because of course Anthony was at Rotary this morning, and it's around Economic Development Month. I'm sure some of the Rotarians are also business owners, right?
Yeah.
And so just tell me a little bit about how that's working for the business owners around the economy and what's going on now with the pandemic. I know there's some struggle, but what I'm also finding that the territories, individuals are tenacious people, and they're finding ways. They're finding ways. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, the business community here, the hardest hit, as Anthony mentioned this morning, is of course the hospitality industry.
Yes.
And we've all seen, it all over, where restaurants and food service people have become very creative, between doing deliveries, having, the takeout, doing special events, so everybody has become creative. We, unfortunately, our unemployment rate is much higher than any place else. And the people who first applied for unemployment, when things first shut down, their unemployment is running out soon. Yeah. So that's a
reality. Yeah, that's the reality. That's definitely reality.
major blow.
And so that's why places like the Marketplace and JumpStart and SureUp is very important to the economy, because this is an opportunity. Because again, the territories we're very creative with obstacles or opportunities, and so businesses are now looking at those other opportunities. So they're looking at we had the pizza shop, Alfredo Pizza Shop on last time, and so he went from having just the hot pizza to now having frozen pizza in the supermarkets, and now he can sell it on the Marketplace. And so that's another opportunity for business to continue to thrive. The coffee shop was on, and even though they have to have different hours, the letting the community know when they're open, surprisingly enough, there's a steady flow of individuals that are coming in and making sure that they are in those businesses and they're patronizing those businesses because they want to see their local coffee shops stay open. And I think it's very important to the audience to understand that they have a role to play in this economy. And so whatever your local business is that you enjoy, if you're not utilizing that business, they're not going to continue to stay there. And so the Marketplace is given an opportunity to highlight the business, showcase the business, even an opportunity to purchase your wares on the Marketplace. And so that's very important for the audience to understand. If they're looking for a home to be able to sell their widget, then this is a place for them to do that at. And I think that's very important.
And one of the things that I've put up on our social media, and I want to do more posts about it, just letting people know, the holidays are coming up.
Yes.
Don't order online. Go out to everybody and get gift certificates and start doing that now. Even a mechanic, a taxi driver, any service people use.
That's right. That's right.
Get a gift certificate and give those, so the money stays here. We help, those small business people. There's all sorts of creative gift certificates that
that's right.
So
that's right. Maybe that's something I'll talk to Anthony. I know he's listening in. It's something for the Marketplace to explore, creating gift certificates for certain business and making sure that they're available so people can go on the Marketplace and buy, a gift certificate for that local mechanic, or that, everyone needs a car wash every once in a while for their car wash or whatever that business is. So making sure we're shoring up the economy by putting money in now before the holiday. And also, and what you said, Liz, is so important. Amazon don't need our money. The Walmarts of the world, they don't need our money. Our local businesses really, really, really need our money in this time, because they're having to close their doors because they don't have foot traffic that they used to have when everything was open. So it's really important. It's really, really important. And the other thing is the resources too that's available in the territories. The small business services are available. The small business, the SBDCs are available. They're doing a lot of webinars and online assistance for small businesses. There's the UVI is doing online services for small businesses, the SBA. So there's a ton of other services for no charge that businesses can they can pivot. They can use those services to pivot if they're not sure what their next step should be. And that should also, the audience should also be clear about that as well.
Right. Yeah. And so, there is a lot we can do. But, there's one thing I know Tony said he showed the video to go back to World Polio Day. Oh, and I should let you know that we are, the 4 clubs are getting together. We are illuminating Government House Saturday in red, and we're going to have the big End Polio Now logo up. We're putting up a banner tonight.
Oh, nice.
World
Anthony, you got to take pictures. You got to take pictures. You got to put the pictures up.
I am. Okay. I was part of that conversation at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to get
I need the experience. Okay?
That's right. But I wanted to bring up the video that Tony watched. Throughout the years, Rotary and the GPI have created an incredible infrastructure of medical personnel, of volunteers, logistics. I mean, the infrastructure for polio, for delivering vaccines, for scientific study, for information dissemination it is massive and it is strong and it is there. And it is that network that's being used now to educate on COVID, to do testing. You know, it's out there. A few years ago, the last big outbreak they had with Ebola in Nigeria and in Africa. If you may remember how quickly Nigeria was able to contain it.
That's right.
That was because the Polio Eradication Network was set up and tapped into, and it was the people who were giving the polio vaccines that were doing the education, that were the medical professionals dealing with that outbreak.
Wow.
So that infrastructure is there and it's going to stay. It's not going to be dissolved when polio is eradicated.
Awesome. And that's good to know that the infrastructure exists already. It's already been proven to be able to eradicate, because Ebola was big, it was huge, and so knowing that exists already is really key to our audience and understanding that because that exists, that's something that we can utilize now. And that's the thing that we were talking about just before you came on in the other segment. We were talking about the second wave that they're talking about that will be worse than the first wave. But this infrastructure that exists can stop that wave in its tracks. And so it's important for that to be known. And again, I commend you, Liz. I commend the Rotary and all of the Rotaries for coming together and taking on the charge to eradicate polio and doing it, getting there and continuing to do the work. And not only just getting so close, but also putting measures in place to make sure it doesn't come back. Because I think that that's key at the end of the day as well. You don't want to get rid of it and then forget about it. And so just you letting us know, listen, there's going to be measures taken to make sure that there's still the vaccine that exists well after, we eradicate it. And so that I think that's really important. So thank you so much, for what you shared with us today. Thank you.
Terry, you're the best, Terry. You're the best. You are the bomb. I mean, you held down the fort. I mean, we couldn't have scripted this thing any better. I'm back here juggling, doing all kinds of stuff. And thank you, Liz.
Liz, she's on top. She has it going on here.
Absolutely. Liz, I'm really looking forward to working with Rotary.
Great.
I think you guys have an incredible. What a turnout this morning! You had, I think you had something over 30-something people.
Oh wow!
At your meeting at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Wow! I'm sure they had to have some coffee somewhere around, right? Everybody on their channels with their coffee.
We do virtual coffee. Yeah,
exactly.
I like your chapter. I like the diversity of your chapter. I like how engaging they were, and I want to thank you for that opportunity. So, obviously, our colleague Jessica Kyla is standing next to me. That you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
It is.
How are you?
So we got to transition over to Jessica's show. Liz, it's not the last. Looking forward to having you back on the program. I'm glad to accept the invitation to work with your Economic Development Committee on doing our part to help move things along. Thank you so much for being part of the program.
Liz. Let's continue to shore up the economy. Thanks again.
Nice to meet you, Terry.
Thank you.
All right, Terry.
All right,
Okay.
take care. Bye, guys.
Bye guys. Scott, It's our last week.
I know, Jessica, I'm going to miss
I
you.
know, I'm going to miss you. So, this week we decided to go back in the kitchen at the Fred, right?
Yep. We're going
Meet
to
Chef again. He's going to prepare a little dish for us.
feature some of the other menu items here at the Fred. So
We're going to sit on the outside veranda.
Alfresco area.
Yes. And enjoy each other. And then we're going to feature our local chef today, too. Chef Sean Scarrett. Who's going to come into the lobby with us and show us a couple of his dishes and some kind of cool techniques that during the pandemic that he decided to move forward in the chefing department, in the restaurant department.
looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
So cool. Well, listen, shall we head down to the kitchen?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Let's
Grab
do
your
it.
wine.
So Jess, I've really enjoyed having you and the Caribbean Food Network here the past couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Touring the property,
Love
touring
it.
the spa.
I know, I'm going to miss you guys.
I know, we're gonna miss you too. But listen, since you are a food show, I want to get you back into our kitchen and have Chef make you just one more dish.
Oh, great.
So he's waiting for us. You want to come on down?
Absolutely.
Chef, look who's back.
Hi, thanks for having us again.
Thank you for coming again.
Coming for our last time. For now.
For now,
But we'll be back. Oh, we're having a little pasta today?
Yes, got a pasta today. We're gonna do a Fred capellini today with shrimp.
Okay.
All our components are here.
What kind of capellini?
Fred capellini.
Okay.
So
The Fred capellini. Okay.
fresh
A little-
basil,
Okay.
fresh sliced garlic, roasted tomatoes, capellini pasta, which is an Anchorhead pasta.
Right. Absolutely. Scallop or garlic.
Garlic.
Okay. And then the shrimp.
Very,
And this is on your menu,
it's
right?
on the menu. Yes. Very, very simple dish if you like.
Okay.
All right, so let's start off here. Pan hot. Now this is an olive oil based sauce.
Absolutely. Which is nice, like you said, nice and light.
Nice and light. Start with olive oil. We get our shrimp on first. So,
Now, do you have many pasta dishes on the menu?
I have two.
Two.
I have a verte, which is a cream-based sauce made out of spinach and nutmeg.
Oh,
And we add chicken, shrimp, and fish to that also.
okay.
Blackened seafood.
Pick it up a little bit. Now, the shrimp don't take long, right?
They don't, not long at all.
Yeah.
So let's go. So I'll put my garlic in first.
Oh, little small garlic.
Tomatoes in there.
Now, do you find that you can source local tomatoes easily, or?
Yeah, tomatoes are pretty easy to find.
Okay.
Tomatoes are pretty easy to find, especially like cherry tomatoes. Heirloom tomatoes are a little harder to find, but
Right.
cherry tomatoes are pretty easy. So just a little salt and pepper in this. Let's go for a minute.
Right.
Chicken stock.
Okay.
Let's cook the bottom.
I love those Crucial rum glasses.
I thought that would be a good touch.
Yeah, well, it is.
Put the pasta in there, let it start coming up.
Now, is this one serving? This is a nice serving.
Yeah, try to. It's pasta.
Right.
A little bit more salt and pepper.
Okay.
Let it go for a minute. Olive oil again, this is the
Little more
olive
olive
oil
oil,
based
okay.
sauce.
Now, do you plan on switching up your menu at all for season?
I do, actually, I'm working on that now. Once the fall dishes,
Right.
I'm going to try to add a roasted vegetable sandwich to the lunch menu for the vegetarians on the island.
Great.
So,
We do have a lot of vegetarians.
I want to do ossobuco, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
my favorite.
So I want to get that on the menu
Ossobuco,
for the fall, you know, something a little heavy, something to stick to you.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
this right here, we're just going to be glazing just a little bit.
A little more chicken stock.
Just a little, just a little, just a little. Shrimp done, those are done. Alright. Get it going. Fresh basil. I like to leave it whole and just tear it.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
gives it
why
better-
not?
Yeah, just give it a better flavor.
Chop. Okay.
Like I said, real quick dish. You ready to play?
I gotta watch because I got my heels on. You want me to turn this off?
Yes, please. Nice little twist.
All about the presentation too.
All that nice tomatoes and garlic and basil.
Great.
side.
Yeah, gotcha.
Shuffle them down like so. They fall a little bit, that's fine.
Who cares? Yeah, thank you.
All right. Do that.
And a little garnish.
Finish it off with a little shaved Parmesan cheese.
Oh yeah. And
A
what
little
is
bit of chiffonade base on the top. Just a little color.
Great job, Chef. Thank
There
you.
you go. You're welcome.
And again, this.
And here we have our Fred Capellini.
Yes, I love it.
May I serve you?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Well, it's just been such a pleasure having you here the past couple of weeks, and getting to know you and talking about food and about the spa and about the hotel and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. I love my spa treatment the other week. That was amazing. And my stay. Absolutely. And we hope to come back. Thank you.
You're welcome anytime.
Thank you so much.
And it's been a bit of a challenge, lately with the COVID, keeping the operations, going, and making sure that we can provide a safe environment for people to come out during this lovely time of COVID and living with social distancing and all that kind of stuff. So.
Absolutely. And not being able to actually have the bar open is...
Right. Well, we're fortunate. Well, we just found out that the governor's loosening up some of the restrictions.
Okay.
We're allowed to have the bar stools back on November 9th.
Oh.
Again, you still have to be seated in order to be served alcohol. There's no mingling.
Okay.
So we are open for business, but you'll have to be seated at the bar in order to serve drink or food.
Okay.
Or
So you can serve food at the bar?
Oh, of course we can. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
And then do you have to be 6 feet apart at the bar?
We have all of our tables are 6 feet apart. We're going to obviously take out a few of the bar stools, so there's a little bit more social distancing. And just to do everything, we have to have everybody wearing face masks when they're walking around the property.
Right.
Things like that. We take extra precautions with sanitizing everything in between each use. We spray the chairs and tables down with an antibacterial spray that's supposed to kill any.
Right. Right.
Let me know what you think of the pasta.
It's so nice.
It's nice. It's light.
It's like an aglio olio. The olive oil and the garlic and.
I eat this at least once a week.
Do you?
I love it.
This is delicious. But I must say that the fried chicken here and the duck, delicious.
Good. I'm glad you like it.
Well, thank you. We're featuring another chef today, Sean Scarrett, who actually does deliveries.
Okay.
He lists his specials. I think he delivers 3 times a week, but we're going to go in the lobby and actually talk to him. But a friend of mine, Steeler fan, which is nice. So if you don't mind, after we have our little lunch, we're going to go in there and meet him.
Definitely.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, cheers.
And what are we drinking?
Today we're drinking a Scarborough Sauvignon Blanc. So we are working on increasing our wine list. We carry a pretty good variety of wines now, but as we go into season, and we're going to start adding some more menu items to both our lunch and dinner menu, and then I'm working with Prestige Wine Group to increase our wine list and probably hopefully have a fairly large wine list to offer. So
yeah, and Chef said that he might switch up the menu a little bit too.
Definitely.
For fall. I like it when restaurants do that.
right, and obviously we're trying to, as we're going into season, we're going to start featuring more daily specials and things like that. Those are always posted on our website, on Facebook, and things like that.
And you'll give tourists, people, once it starts getting cold up north,
yes,
they'll be
most
down.
certainly.
I mean, who wouldn't want to stay here, Scott?
Well, I think it's a pretty nice space. So, as I said, tourism is sort of starting to pick up again. People are getting anxious to get out and back to somewhat normal. So, as long as they're taking certain precautions with the health codes, that
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, well, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And
Cheers
again,
again.
cheers, and welcome back to the Fred.
Thank you.
We move fast here at the Fred, don't we, Scott? I mean,
Yes,
we
we
can
do.
go from A to B and B to C in seconds.
We just magically transport from place to place.
Absolutely. Everyone, right. I'd like to introduce Sean Scarrett, who just started a new operation, a chef operation called Tasty Cuisine. Thank you for coming onto the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're super excited about that. And like I said earlier, Sean is a Steeler fan, and we're 5-0, right? 5-0.
Yes.
First time since like 1978.
You keep bringing that up.
I know. But, we're like, and he even brought his Steeler apron today. So,
I'm
but-
diehard.
yeah,
Everyone on
yeah.
the island knew I'm diehard.
Right, absolutely. So Sean, thanks for coming on the program. But tell us a little bit about like your new venture.
Well, with the pandemic happening, you know, I was working before close down, and I
Chefing.
was So I decided, you know, since most people can go out to eat, why not bring the food to them? You know, I used to own Salute Bistro. And
Yes.
my food was really liked by my customers and everyone else. So I decided I'll bring the food to them.
Yeah.
And I deliver 3, sometimes 4 times a week,
Yes.
depending on how tired I am.
So like you put on the menu Monday for Monday,
Yeah,
maybe Wednesday for your biscuit.
Yeah, and I usually put it out like the week before.
Yeah.
I'm always planning in my head what I'm going to do the next day.
Right,
So
provisioning.
I'm always like that.
Nice.
So
what do you have for us today?
So what I have is ceviche.
Yum yum yum.
Good appetizers. Well, helps get that taste buds rolling.
So is this something that you feature on Tasty Cuisine?
Yes, I do.
And this is, it looks like mahi, correct?
Yeah,
Oh,
this mahi is shrimp and it's scallops.
Oh,
so
great.
I like to blend it. I'm not a big fan of just one thing.
Right.
Yeah. I like to make a melange.
Right. Yeah.
So most ceviche, I like my ceviche not too acidy with a lot of lime. So what I do is I mix lemons and orange with the limes.
Nice. Okay.
So just get a nice balance.
Right, with the orange.
With the orange, so it's not too sweet and it's not too tart.
Right.
And
I'm saying
that's what I like.
Ladies first, dive in.
Thank you, sorry.
Dive in. So Sean, how do people find out about your menus and how to get your delivery service and things like that?
Yeah, for right now I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I have Tasty Cuisine page also on Facebook.
Okay.
And you can usually when I put the menu out there, people would message me on Messenger or right there on the same page on my menu.
Okay.
And that's to go from there. And then there's also my phone number I put there, and you can always text me or call me.
And they have to order early in the day to get same day delivery. What's the time frame usually like?
It's easier for me, so I don't have to spend every day in the grocery store. That they order early.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like I do, I always have extra. So,
Okay.
procrastinators, so
the
I
ball
always have
on
a
the
little
soccer
extra.
field.
I
Who
don't
wants a roti tonight?
Yeah, so
Right.
I always have extra, so they won't have to sweat it.
But what Scott was saying, like, what is your cutoff time? So if I wanted, Wednesday, today is Wednesday, and today is roti day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if I wanted to order a roti today, what time would you want all of our viewers or us to know to order from? Like 10 o'clock?
By 10.
Yeah.
Usually.
Okay.
But like I said, I get orders as I'm driving and delivering.
Oh God.
So
You don't have an
I always have
assistant?
extra.
Oh my gosh.
That's
This is
fantastic.
delicious.
Yeah, thank you.
I
That's
love
very
it.
nice.
I
Thank
love
you.
it.
It just have that perfect balance.
It does. It does.
And you said you're located mid-island, so that you're delivering island-wide,
so just
right?
call me. So I'm east, west, north, and south. I go all over.
That must be adventurous, trying to find something.
Driving part is that's the part. Cooking is easy.
Right.
It's getting to point B.
Well, even like you hit traffic, like coming over to Frederickstead these days. I mean, they're doing all that road work.
Yeah.
So if you're behind a truck,
it is the way, you get around.
He knows. I know how to get to what.
So what inspires your menus for the week?
Like I said, what I did last week, I don't want to do it this week.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Gotta switch
so
it
I
up
just switch it up and
to keep the
I have an array of menu items that I do. Because I get bored doing the same thing.
Right.
So
And
every day you're gonna get something different, from Asian to Italian to French to local.
You really cover the gamut.
Yeah, I like to cover everything,
Well, that's fun.
No, we have our second dish over here. I'm going to bring that over.
Okay,
Give
cool.
me 1 second. That was delicious.
Thank you.
Love it, love it, love it.
So how long have you been a chef?
Oh. I started in the Army in 1979.
Okay.
I started cooking in the Army.
And when did you get into the private sector?
83.
Okay.
Yeah, 83. I came back here for a few months, and I worked at Beach Hotel, which is now Divvy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then for 6 months, and then I bolted to the States and lived in North Carolina, cooking all over.
And how long have you been back on island?
Since 2004.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, so
cool. Well, what do we have here?
So what I have here is a traditional roti.
Ooh. So
One of my favorite dishes ever.
oh, really? Are you? Well, rotis traditionally aren't they from Trinidad?
Yeah.
Let's say so. People who don't know roti,
Yeah.
you know,
It's traditionally from Trinidad. To me, the most difficult part is the dough.
Right. Yeah.
The dough. You have to be perfect with it.
Oh.
And in the best rotis have either chickpeas in the dough or yellow split peas.
Oh. So
Compared to
process.
most rotis, I think on island, I like to put a lot of vegetable in mine also.
Yeah.
Along with the meat.
You're right.
So you find cabbage, bok choy, carrots, lots of potatoes, cauliflower, broccoli.
Oh wow.
So I like to put a lot of different vegetables.
Now, what type of rotis do you offer? Like, of course, you have the chicken.
Yeah, I have, I have the boneless.
Oh, boneless. Okay.
And I have the bone-in. For your
Okay, yeah, I
locals who
know.
like
Yeah,
bone-in,
yeah.
like me.
okay.
Shrimp and vegetable.
Okay, great.
So
And that's offered on Wednesdays.
yeah, Wednesdays.
And then do you have even time to think about anything else to offer that day? Like
Actually, I just started. Since I was doing the show today, I did it. I'm doing the roti tomorrow.
Okay.
And I decided to do my seafood curry chowder.
Okay, today.
Which I did on your last
Oh
show
yes.
at
So
your-
when
yes.
I had my cooking show, Best
Yeah.
Bites,
I did
Sean
that.
and I we did a show together. We
Yeah.
did the chowder, and then we did this awesome marsala mushroom, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Was it
Yeah.
marsala mushrooms?
Yeah. So
So this is a portion. That's a
yeah,
big portion.
That's a big portion.
Yeah.
That's a big roti.
most people just eat half and save it.
Right. I would
But,
think, I'd probably fall asleep at my desk.
Yeah.
If I ate that. But you know what? Scott and I were talking with Sean earlier, and we're like, it's really cool that he delivers. And we were talking about businesses.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, let's do roti tomorrow's Thursday. Roti Thursday. Who wants this? Who wants that? You know, and everyone's at the office for 8:30.
Yeah.
But that's great too. But Sean actually came to my house one day because my daughter wasn't feeling well and I was stuck at home and I couldn't leave. And I mean, talk about door-to-door service. I mean, he came, he knows where I live, honestly, because we were friends. But, he was honk, and I was like, thank you, dinner.
I also think too, people that are staying in like Airbnbs or things like that, or rental houses, they may not know where the grocery stores are. They may not know where to get the good local stuff like roti. And if they want to experience local cuisine, I think this would be the ideal thing. And it's, again, like it's delivered.
Yeah.
How easy is that? So,
This is delicious. Scott tries them.
Okay.
Yeah, it is delicious. I love it.
I think it makes a big difference when you put more different vegetables in there.
Yeah, switch it up.
Other than just have potatoes and the meat.
Right.
This is huge. This is definitely a full meal.
Yeah.
Delicious. So, just the thought that delicious. I could probably eat a whole one of those. To be honest with you, I really could. My kids.
Pittsburgh girl.
Yeah. Pittsburgh girl. Pittsburgh. We put fries on everything.
And ranch.
And ranch. But what I was thinking for a second also is like, how do people pay you? I mean, are you doing Venmo? Or
I do Venmo, PayPal, check, cash.
Okay.
I make it easy for everyone.
Cash works.
Okay. Yeah.
Excellent.
Cash rules.
So talk to us a little bit about your other menu, besides the roti and the ceviche. I know he has my favorite, which is a lobster mac and cheese.
Yes.
It's not my favorite, but it's damn good.
Yeah.
It's lobster truffle mac and cheese.
Oh, yum.
Yeah.
So next time you come by, you better bring some back.
Yeah.
I did that Monday. Actually,
it's delicious. It's one of my favorite dishes. But what else do you offer? You said the chowder.
Yeah, like a lot of people are not really into the Asian food here.
Mm-hmm.
So I do Asian food also.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere from chow mein fun to lo mein to patsui, which is
the real stuff.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And some days I'll do local. I blend it all. Like you have one day I'll have like local and Asian food.
Yeah, you'll throw us.
Throw in some Italian.
Yeah. Why not?
And then salad also.
And that's also good like, for people that are ordering. Like even like I was thinking for people going to the beaches here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I was going to ask you: is it all individual portions, or do you do?
Yeah, it's all individual portions.
Do you offer family portions?
If someone asks, I'll do like I'm flexible like that.
Hey, you being a mom, if I don't want to cook dinner tonight, give him a shout. And
Absolutely.
shows up at your doorstep.
I mean, come on. Does it get better than that? Yeah.
Excellent.
So everyone knows how to get a hold of you. Yeah. And you're okay with driving around and like delivering?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I got down to a point that, just start east, so close to there, and head west. And everyone's happy. Everyone, I hit the road usually around 12 o'clock.
Okay.
And I'm usually done by 3, depending on how many orders I have.
Okay.
Excellent.
So, and if you want it for dinner, the food stays hot till 6, 7.
You have a system.
Yeah.
Back there.
So
in the car.
Yeah. So, if you want it for dinner, I can get it to you for dinner also.
Oh my gosh, you're working hard, Sean.
Yeah, and then on Fridays,
I feel like
cheers
and on Fridays,
Yeah.
I do dinners also.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't do lunch on Fridays, just dinners. So it's a more extensive menu, and you can choose what you want.
Okay, so tell everyone again how we can find you.
You can also find me on Facebook at Sean Scarrett, or you can find me at Tasty Cuisine, also on Facebook.
With an I.
With an I.
Oh, Tasty
with an I.
Cuisine,
very important.
With an I. You can message me on Messenger or at my phone number at 412-877-7771.
Perfect.
Excellent.
I love it. And this is a treat.
Yes.
We're going to
Thank
fight
you,
over
guys.
this.
Well, yeah, right.
And the ceviche.
Cool. Well, thanks for being here.
Thank
You're
you
welcome.
so
Thank
much,
you guys for
Sean.
having
And
me.
good luck
Yeah.
with your new venture and
Thank you.
everything.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
It's going good.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. And we'll see you next week. We won't be at the Fred, but we'll be somewhere else. So stay tuned.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.